What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to Theory Hammer. I'm KevBot, and today we're going to take a look at maybe the silliest Space Marine detachment out there, which is the Blood Angels. This is basically what happens if vampires technologically advance to the 41st millennium. So we're going to go over them today, and we're going to go over their points, we're going to go over all their data sheets, and we're going to break down which ones are good, which ones suck, and see which detachments they're good in. So if you like that kind of content, hit the like button, smash it with a thunder hammer, give it the Black Death, Red Thirst, whatever the hell it is. Subscribe to our channel, which is Theory Hammer. Leave a comment down below, hit an bell icon, and check out our other videos as well. We have all kinds of other content out there. We're making a bunch of series, and you'll find something that you like, I am sure. So, yes, like I said, this army is basically what happens when you have vampires with guns and power armor. They're very silly, they're very ridiculous. But I kind of love them. They've always been one of those chapters that's either really good or just complete garbage. And their faction rule got a big update in the balanced data slate. So, we're going to go over their codex. Let's just get right into it. This is what they got. The army can only include Blood Angels. It can't include Ultramarines or Black Templar or any of that stuff. It has to be only Blood Angels. But you get this Red Thirst, and this is what was made way better. Each time an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is selected to fight, if that unit made a charge move this turn, until the end of the phase, add 2 to the strength characteristic and add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. So, +1 strength, not always very impactful. +2 strength, though, hilarious. This puts all of your Power Fists, Thunder Hammers, anything that's strength 8 up to strength 10 on a charge. This puts all your chain swords to strength 6. This puts all your power swords to strength 7. So this is really good because the Blood Angels, like every other detachment or every other faction, have access to the Marine Codex and the Marine Detachment. So you have access to so many different options. So it might be hard to figure out all the different little combos that you can do in one video. If I missed anything, leave it down below. But they have access to a lot of good units, and this is good with a lot of good units like Terminators or other things like that that have good close combat. Alright, so is it the strongest? No, it's not. There are better detachments, like the Iron Storm detachment is definitely better than this, in my opinion anyway. But the Gladius, for sure. Maybe the Raven Guard one. The Raven Guard one is very strong as well, with really good stratagems, really good detachment rule, and just the way they play. But this is also really good, because +2 to strength and +1 attacks brings all your Terminators up to 4 attacks, I think, or maybe even more. So I think that they have 3 normally, right? They have to have 3 normally. Pretty sure they have 3 normally. But even if they don't, +1 attack and +2 strength is just outrageous. So let's get into some of their other stuff, like their enhancements and their stratagems. So the first one is Angel's Sacrifice. It's an epic deed, 1 CP. It happens in any phase. You target an Adeptus Astartes character unit from your army that was just destroyed. Then you can use it even though they were destroyed. Little clause there. Don't know why they need that in there, because it's like you target the character that was destroyed, but it's there. Until the end of the battle, each time a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit makes an attack that targets the enemy unit that just destroyed your character, you can reroll the hit roll. So you get permanent Oath of Moment on the target. And for Blood Angels, that's good to have for combat and shooting, but mainly because they have a lot of good combat stuff. So, pretty good to have that on a different unit. You just have to sacrifice a character to do it, so it's not something you want to do ideally. Like, you don't want to put a random character out there and just have them die for no reason, just to get this. At least I don't think you do. But once it happens, because it'll inevitably happen, then you're going to want to use that. Because it's until the end of the battle. Until the end of the battle. So their big unit of stuff that killed your random smash captain with like 5 jump dudes or something like that. Yeah, my whole army rerolls hits against that big Death Star the entire battle. Very strong. Armor of Contempt. We know what this does. Take 1 of your AP, throw it in the garbage, and then I'll take an armor save after that. So that's what it does. It's a battle tactic stratagem for 1 CP. You guys should know what that does at this point, because it's in every single Space Marine detachment. Aggressive Onslaught on 1 CP as well, Battle Tactics. This is in the fight phase. You target an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army just before that unit consolidates. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a consolidation move, it can move 6 inches. instead of 3, provided your unit ends that consolidation move within coherency and within engagement range of one or more enemy units. So being able to consolidate 6 inches is really, really good, because that means you can tie up other units that were, not going to be tied up otherwise. So it's larger than people give it credit for. Like, even using the movement of 3 inches in the assault phase, people don't always use it very well, although it's a little harder this edition because of just how the edition works. But being able to get 6, very, very good. Not amazing, but good enough. That gives you some extra range on stuff. Then you have the Red Rampage. This is a battle tactic for 1 CP as well. So far, you have 3 battle tactics. This is 1 CP fight phase. You target 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. And then until the end of the phase, melee weapons gain lance and lethal hits. So that's just really good to have. If you're charging, you're +1 to wound. So you're wounding everything in the game on 4s or better because you are +1 to wound, and you're now strength 10 probably with a Thunderhammer or something. So that's pretty good. And then having lethal hits on all that with a bunch of extra attacks, because your detachment rule gives you extra attacks as well. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good on high damage or high strength and mediocre damage weapons, but it's just good overall. Getting +1 to wound is always good. And lethal hits on top of that. Pretty good for 1 CP, and you can do it for free. So all those different combat units that are in the Space Marine Codex and things like the, what are they called? Death Company? The Death Company with jump packs, or just the regular Death Company. They are really good as well, because they reroll all their hits, so they can just proc lethal hits super duper easily. Alright, so that's pretty good. Only in Death does duty end. This is 2 CP. It's an epic deed. In the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, you target the unit that was the target of their attacks. Until the end of the phase, your models fight on death. You don't have to roll for it. So, really, really strong. Really, really strong. So, yeah. Only in Death does duty end is great on just about any unit. If an opponent charges you, and you weren't expecting it to get into combat, you can use this on a big unit of stuff and just kill their unit in return. If you charge someone first and they pop some kind of strat you weren't expecting, like gets fights first, or they just do something that you didn't realize they could do, you can at least try to save yourself with this, and after your guys die, you can swing back anyway and kill that unit. So, pretty cool little, like, back and forth you can do with stuff like that. But 2 CP, that's pretty rough. The reason it's 2 CP is probably because it has no clause for a roll. It just happens automatically, and you can shore things up that way. So, 2 CP in the bank, sometimes hard to do, but if you have it and you want to use this, you can definitely use this as well. It's going to be good on just about anything. So Death Company, Terminators, Blade Guard, Aggressors, anything that's good in combat like that. Relentless Assault is next. It's the last one for 1 CP, Strategic Ploy. This is in your movement phase, just after an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army falls back. You target that unit. Until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to declare a charge even though they fell back this phase. So that's pretty good as well. Not as good as Advance and Charge. It's nice that it's 1 CP. So if you do find yourself needing to fall back from something that you didn't want to be locked in combat with, you can fall back and then you can charge something else. So pretty good there. Nice to have. Only in Death does duty end is good. Just sucks it's 2 CP. Red Rampage is awesome. It's probably one of the best. Obviously, Armor of Contempt is very good. Angel Sacrifice, really good. It's not even like once a game. So you can just continually use this. That's really good. It's 1 CP. Aggressive Onslaught is pretty good as well. If you really need to get into combat with something that your opponent thought that was safe, if they have it like over 4 inches away after you pile in, well, you get to move an extra 3 inches and you can tag it at that point. So that one's good as well. So they're all pretty good, actually. I would say they are pretty good, actually. Yeah. Pretty good. They're good on all your units that want to get into combat. And yeah, overall pretty good stuff there. Okay, so then we have the enhancements. Your first one is the Artisan of War. This is for an Adeptus Astartes model only. No shit. Improve the armor penetration characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons by 1, and the bearer has a save characteristic of 2+. So, pretty good on a Smash Captain. Probably good on like a Gravis Captain, getting AP 3 on both those things. And the Gravis Captain going up to a 2-up save. That could be pretty annoying to get through. If there's anything in here that I think might be good taking that, I'll let you know. But I don't think so. Then you have the Visage of Death. A Debus Astartes model only. While an enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles, is within engagement range of the bearer, you have the objective control characteristic of models in that unit. That is very good. Let's go over the points here, actually, because I have them up. So the Artisan of War is 20 points. So probably worth it. +1 armor penetration, and then you get a 2-up save. I could see that being pretty useful, but yeah, 20 points. It's right where it needs to be, probably. So, fine. The Visage of Death, which is pretty good. This is 15 points. So if you can get this on something real durable, maybe like Terminators, or even Death Guard, or not Death Guard. God, there's so many different names. Death Company. If you can get this on Death Company, that is pretty good. Because then you can have the objective control of the enemy and try to steal it from them. I think they have an objective control characteristic. We'll have to double check. Then the Archangel Shard, 25 points. The bearer's melee weapons gain Anti-Chaos 5-up and Lance. So the Anti-Chaos 5-up, like, why? What is this? It's 25 points? Why, dude? Fuck. Lance is good, but the Anti-Chaos 5-up is completely useless. What are you going to take this on? What are you going to take this on that you're wounding on 6s, like, automatically anyway? Nothing. You're going to take this on, like, a Gravis Captain or something like that. You want to take it on good characters that are good in combat, so they're never going to be not wounding you on a 5-up because they're strength 8, and you can't be toughness 16, as far as I'm aware. So, pretty much completely pointless, and if I missed something there, let me know. But the Lance is pretty good. Having +1 to wound on that same weapon, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. It's super duper good, actually. So, cool, I guess, but not for 25 points. Artisan of War, I think, the +1 to wound is good. No, it's not 25 points. I don't think it's 25 points. I don't think it's 25 points. Yeah, it's only the bearer. If it gave it to his unit, then yes, it would be really good. But no, not with that. Alright, so then you have the Icon of the Angel, which is a 10 points. Okay, let's see what it does. Each time an enemy unit, not monsters and vehicles, within engagement range of the bearer are selected to fall back, models in that enemy unit must take a desperate escape test as if their unit was battle shocked. When doing so, if they are battle shocked, you subtract 1. So, that's awesome. You get something into combat, like, I don't know, you tag a tank, or well, that's a bad example, I guess. You tag a unit that doesn't want to be tagged, and they try to fall back, they just start losing guys. No. That keeps people in combat, usually. People don't like taking that chance unless they really, really have to. So if you're locked in combat with like a huge unit of guys, they'll probably do it. But if you're locked in combat with only a couple of guys left, and they really need them to not die, then they're not gonna fall back. So, pretty good. Very good for 10 points. Very good. It's each time an enemy unit selected to fall back. You could get in combat with multiple units with this. You multi-charge something. Now all of them have to take desperate escape tests, basically. So on 1s and 2s, I think that procs, those models just die. They just die. So that's very, very good, actually. Interesting. So Icon of the Angel is probably the best one, just because it's 10 points, and actually, it's pretty good. Having the objective control for 15 points, right? Yeah, that's also really good. +1 AP, 2-up save, great. Not amazing, but pretty good on a lot of different things. I do think this is probably best on your Gravis Captain, having AP3 smashy fists, and being a 2-up save with half damage on that guy already. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is the worst one, I think, just because this is pointless unless I'm missing something. Lance is not worth 25 points, because it doesn't give this to the bearer. So. Alright, let's move on to Astarath. This is the first data sheet. This guy moves 12 inches, he's toughness 4 with a 2-up save, 5 wounds, leadership 5, and OC 1. He does have a 4-up inborn. He's got a bolt pistol, which hits on 2s, and then he has the Executioner's Axe, which is a dev wounds weapon. It's 4 attacks, strength 6, AP 3, damage 2. So, the AP is good, the damage is fine for strength 6. His number of attacks is what bothers me about it. But having devastating wounds is always great. Asterath is 85 points. He can deep strike, he can lead stuff, he oaths people, he is the redeemer of the lost. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit is destroyed by a melee attack, if the model has not fought on a 4-up, do not remove it from play, but it can fight. So, yeah, he basically gives you that strat, but only on his unit. It's fine. It can pay off really, really hard, or it can do absolutely nothing. So, it's annoying when you have to take that chance, but that's what he's got. Then he has the Massive Doom. Once per battle, when this model's unit makes a charge move, this model can use this ability, and then when it does, until the end of the turn, melee weapons equipped by models in that unit have devastating wounds. So yeah, depending on what he leads, really good. Once per battle, when he makes a charge move, he can use this ability. Okay, models in the unit gain devastating wounds. Okay, so what can you lead here? Death Company Marines with jump packs. So, okay, they can already take Thunderhammers, which have devastating wounds. So, yeah, you take Power Fists instead in that case, which get a hit on 3s instead of 4s, and they reroll all their hits, I think. Pretty sure that Death Company reroll all their hits, and they reroll the charge rolls. But Death Company with Power Fists and getting devastating wounds is pretty cool. 85 points for that. And this guy in the unit, he would then, I think, reroll hits as well, because he's attached to that unit. So pretty interesting. He can be attached to those guys, and that's it. And he's an infantry character, upper hero with fly and grenades. So Asterath is not super duper competitive, I don't think, just because all he really gives you is the dev wounds thing. I mean, the Redeemers of the Lost is pretty damn good as well, but if you're getting blown off the table, then it doesn't matter. And on a 4-up, if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, it doesn't matter. So I think it's so annoying, because it's like, this can be super significant, depending on, you know, what happens. Or it could be completely useless. This, though, because you're usually going to be able to get a charge off with this unit, he's going to attach to a unit that can rapid ingress behind a wall, move 12 inches, and then reroll a charge. So they're going to get into combat, and he's going to give them devastating wounds. So I think Asterath is probably actually not bad for his points. God, and then everyone that's charging is also getting +1 attack and +2 to the strength. So all these strength 10 devastating wound power fists. It's like unnecessary, you know? Maybe not against certain targets, but he seems okay for 80 points, 85 points. So I think the way you play Blood Angels overall is either with their detachment now, because it's actually pretty strong, or you run them as an Iron Storm, or you run like the Flame Storm detachment. Yeah, the Flame one's pretty good, because then their entire army gets assault weapons. That's just really nice to have on everything. They have things like Ball Predators, which will become Strength 7, and they will be able to assault and shoot stuff, which they can already do actually. But that's really nice to have, and being the +1 strength is really good as well, because it kind of amps up their shooting, the little bit of shooting that they might have in their army. And being able to get assault, and maybe some things can advance and charge, who knows? Maybe not, I don't actually remember. But if you can, you know, that's nice to have assault and being able to charge with certain units if they're good enough. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of say right now that there's not going to be very many detachments I think you run these guys with, because they're very close combat focused. So you can supplement that with some of the other detachments. But now that this one is so much stronger, you might actually just play this, because yeah, +2 strength and +1 attacks. It just kills units. But okay, let's keep going and go over the Ball Predator here. Moves 12 normally, so it's a little bit faster than a normal Predator. T10, 11 wounds, standard, 3-up save, OC3. So this thing has a flamer that's an 18-inch range. It's the same thing that the Land Raider Redeemer has. It's strength 6, AP 2, and damage 2 with ignores cover and torrent, except it has an 18-inch range, and it's D6 +3 shots. So you're looking at like 6 or 7 shots on average with one of these things. Pretty awesome. It can take heavy bolters on the side, and it can take heavy flamers on the side. You probably take heavy flamers, maybe heavy bolters sometimes. Sustained hits 1 is pretty nice, hitting on 3s, so you get like 6 shots, you get like 5 hits with it. So that's pretty nice to have as well. And then if you can also give that assault, that's pretty cool. But yeah, like it's going to show over here, it has assault when it advances. It can take a hunter killer missile, a storm bolter, and a twin assault cannon is really what it comes with normally. You're going to upgrade the twin assault cannon to the flamer. At least I think it comes with the assault cannon. It's got some armored tracks, which no one cares about. It explodes D3. It's got Oath of the Moment, of course, and then overcharged engines. It can reroll advanced rolls. Each time this model advances until the end of the turn, ranged weapons equipped by this model have assault, but they can only target infantry. So that's pretty good. This thing can move minimum 13 inches. If it's going after infantry, it's just going to roast them. You probably give them flamers, I think, like just straight up flamers, just to make it a good Overwatch target as well, because that flamestorm cannon fucks shit up bad. Take it from me. I'll tell you that it's a good Overwatch target. And then I'll have 2 other heavy flamers. I do understand how they don't have the range you want, but this thing is fast enough. I don't know. It's probably a toss-up between the heavy bolters or the heavy flamers. So, either way, great thing here. I think this thing's cheap. It's 125 points for this thing. Like, this thing's amazing. For 125 points, take 2 of them. Take 3 of them. They're real good. These will supplement your combat damage a lot, just by having 3 flamers that can overwatch if you need them to, 3 flamer tanks, being able to move up and keep pace with the rest of your army. And they're only 375 points for 3 of them. That leaves you a lot of room for other stuff. So, I think these things are awesome. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong with these? So, its twin assault cannon can be replaced with the heavy flamer, like I said, because it comes with a twin assault cannon and its armored tracks. It takes a missile, it takes a storm bolter, and then it takes either 2 storm or heavy bolters and 2 flamers, or 2 flamers. It's a vehicle, smoke, Imperium, and then Predator. Ball Predator. So that thing's awesome. Ball Predators are going to be great in like an Iron Storm detachment because they're going to be blanking damage potentially. The lethal hits doesn't matter too much unless you take those heavy bolters, in which case heavy bolters actually start to become pretty good damage dealing weapons when they have sustained hits and lethal hits. So keep that in mind because you have an aura of lethals if you play the Iron Storm detachment. So yeah, they're great in an Iron Storm detachment. What was the other stratagem? Being able to fall back and still shoot or advance. That is so good as well, because it's an aura that those guys can take. Alright, so we got Brother Corbelow. Are you any good, sir? Brother Corbelow, 75 points. He has a bolt pistol. He's got Heaven's Teeth. They are sustained hits 1. 6 attacks, hitting on 2. Strength 5, AP 1, but damage 1. So that's kind of poopy doopy. He's a leader, he's got Oath of Moment. He gives his unit a 5-up Feel No Pain. That is good. While this model is leading a unit, you add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. So, when this guy charges with the unit, they get +2 to their attacks and +2 to their strength. This takes some of the units absolutely to the moon. So he is Mr. like Master of the Universe vampire guy. Look at this fucking guy. He's ridiculous. He's so fucking ridiculous looking. I can't even get over that. So he can lead a whole bunch of stuff though, but nothing that's too crazy. He can lead assault intercessors, assault squads, devastators, stern guard, tactical dudes, and vanguard veteran squads. The vanguard veteran squads are interesting because now their weapons are strength 7 or EP 1, but strength 7. What the hell else? And how many? He gets like 6 attacks apiece or something silly like that when they charge. So just a ton of output. It's like 60 attacks with a 10-man unit at strength 7, AP 1, 1 damage, but just carve through things. Not tanks though, unfortunately. This edition, tanks are very, very hard to kill. So you're going to want some anti-tank stuff in there as well. So he's pretty cool. He's 75 points, so gives you guys 5 Feel No Pain. Not bad. So, I don't know. He's not, like, amazing, I don't think. He's pretty good, though. He's probably worth his points. Is he super duper competitive is the question. Not really. The units that he leads only have 2 wounds. Right? Yep. So they all have 2 wounds apiece. Getting a 5 Feel No Pain on 2 wound guys, it's not nothing. It's it makes it much more survivable. But it makes a 3 wound model even more survivable. So, sucks that he can't be attached to a unit with 3 wounds. Assault intercessors, assault squads, dev squads, stern guard, nothing. Yeah, vanguard don't have 3 wounds. And the +1 attack is really cool. And it's just all the time. Doesn't have to charge. So you do get that extra attack on all those guys. The Assault Intercessors, they might be a good target for this guy as well. Probably cheaper than the Vanguard. They'll be Strength 6 with like 6 attacks as well at AP 1. I forget what they do actually. They have some ability on their data sheet as well. So you can kind of combine this guy with a bunch of different stuff and make him pretty good. Pretty good. A little bit more survivable and a little bit more damage output because he's drinking their blood like the good little vampire that he is. Captain Tycho. I don't know what this guy's story is. He's something. He moves 6, he's toughness 4 with a 2-up save and 5 wounds. Leadership 6 and OC 1. He does have a 4-up invulnerable save. He has Blood Song, which is an anti-infantry 4-up dev wound Melta 2 gun. It's 24 inches, 2 attacks, hits on 2s, strength 4, AP 1, and damage 2. So if he's within 12 inches, this is 4 damage with devastating wounds and anti-infantry 4-up. Like, it's only 2 shots, but that will just kill 2 guys. Like, it'll just kill 2 Terminators. It'll just kill 2 aggressors. Like, that's pretty crazy. But that's if you get those 4-ups to wound, so not always going to happen. In combat, he has Dead Man's Hand, weapon skill 2. It's only strength 4, it's AP 1, but it is 2 damage with 6 attacks. He leads, he's got it at the moment, he's a gifted commander. While he's leading a unit, each time that unit is selected to shoot, select one of the following abilities to apply to ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit until the end of the phase. Either Assault, Heavy, or Rapid Fire 1. So now you can give his gun Rapid Fire 1, and now you may have a much better chance of blowing away 2 Terminators or 2 whatevers. So that's pretty good. Assault, obviously, is very good as well, because then that allows his unit to advance and still do actions, which everyone loves doing. He's embittered, though. The first time an attack is allocated to this model, I automatically don't care. But after that attacking unit has finished making its attacks until the end of the battle, change the attack's characteristic of this model's Dead Man Hand to 12. Sure. He has no war gear, as you'd expect. You can't have both Tycho and Tycho the Lost, because he's a legendary creature, just like me. He's got Blood Song, Bolt Pistol, Dead Man's Hand. This model can be attached to Assault Intercessors, Assault Squads, Command Squads, Company Heroes. Stern Guard Veterans. Stern Guard Veterans. Probably good. Though they have Rapid Fire already, don't they? So, I don't know. Tactical Squad, Vanguard Veteran Squad. Okay. Company Heroes is kind of interesting, just because it gives them some interesting shooting, but not good enough there. Command Squads don't exist anymore. Yeah, so that's Captain Tycho. Captain Tycho. 75 points. Yeah, Mephiston is next, though. Mr. Mephisti. Power Fister. 110 points. Okay, you better be good. He moves 7, he's toughness 5 with a 2-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1, he has a 5-up invuln. He also has a 5-up feel no pain. So he is pretty tanky. T5, 2-up save, 5-up invuln, 5-up feel no pain. Very good. Very, very good. This means that he has to get hit with like 9, or not 9. He has to fail 3 saves from like a damage 3 weapon. I think. Pretty sure that's right. But either way, that makes him very, very tanky. Because with 6 wounds and then the 5-up feel no pain, yeah, that's really good. Basically 50% more wounds. Fury of the Ancients is his ranged weapon. It's a Witchfire, so this is his psychic power. It's 3 attacks, 12-inch range. It's a pistol, it's psychic, and has sustained hits 1. So 3 shots, ballistic skill 2 on everything, weapon skill 2 on everything. He's the captain of everything. But the gun, though, strength 4, AP 1, damage D3. Okay. Or it can be sustained hits 3 at strength 5, AP 2, and damage D3. But damn, that's pretty good. So sustained hits, the 50% chance to roll 6 on one of those. So that'll just be a casual 6 hits with your strength 5, AP 2, and D3 damage weapon. It's pretty cool. It's not amazing, though. His plasma pistol is a plasma pistol. It's got hazardous. And then Vitarus? I don't know fucking how to pronounce these things. I'm illiterate. It's got 6 attacks with weapon skill 2, strength 9, AP 3, and D3 damage. Delete the D there, and then come back and talk to me. It's got Oath of Moment, the Quickening. This is Psychic Power. While this model is leading a unit, they have Fights First. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, Fights First is really good. What can you lead? We'll check in a second. While he's leading a unit, models in that unit have a fort field of pain against psychic attacks. Niche and dumb, but fine. It's a psychic hood. It's what all the psychers get, at least most of them. Then he has transfixing gaze. He will look at you and you will die. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit within engagement range of the psyker's unit and roll 1d6. So it's of the unit, not the psyker model himself. On a 1, the psyker model suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a 2 to 5, until the end of the phase, worsen the weapon skill characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in the enemy unit by 1. On a 6, until the end of the phase, worsen the weapon skill and the attacks characteristic by 1. So that's pretty hilarious. -1 to attacks? That's really good. And then -1 weapon skill. If they have anything, anywhere, I'm sure, maybe, I'm actually not sure, but Space Marines may have something where they can be -1 to hit in combat, and then you're hitting them at -2. But making them -1 attack is very, very good, so. But either way, good little ability there. What are you, 110 points? Mephiston, Chief Librarian. Chief Librarian, fucking. He's literally just Vampire Lord, dude. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh, what happened? Look at his face, dude. Okay. Alright, Mephiston. Alright, so that's Mephiston. He can be attached to Assault Intercessors, regular Intercessors, and Stern Guard Veteran. He's got a plasma pistol, he's got a sword, he's got all that stuff. No worker options. So, kind of mid things that he can attach to. Assault Intercessors are going to be probably the best one. The Intercessors are cool. Stern Guard, he doesn't really give anything to his unit like good, right? They get fights first, so yeah, probably your Assault Intercessors. He's infantry character, epic hero. Psyker, Grenades, Imperium, Tacticus. So he can get into rhinos and stuff, or impulsors. So, what are you good in? You're good when you have Strength 11 on the charge. Oh my god. Strength 11 and 7 attacks. That's pretty good, but the D3 damage just makes me sad. Very, very sad. Captain Tycho is kind of interesting. It's Strength 6 when he charges, with 7 attacks, I think, right? That's kind of interesting, but he's only AP 1. But makes him way better in combat. Alright, so Mephiston, pretty good for 110 points, well, I'll be honest. He's just a beat stick. He's got some good abilities, gives you fights first on a squad of Assault Intercessors, which is what you're going to want to put him on. 4 Field of Pain's fine, and then the -1 weapon skill and maybe attacks, pretty cool. Commander Dante, he's not super competitive though, because he doesn't have a super high amount of damage, in my opinion. So Dante, oh my. He moves 12, he's toughness 4 with a 2-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1, he has Perdition. It's Melta 2, it's a pistol, and it's got sustained hits D3. So, kind of weird. 6 shots, 1 shot, 6 range, 1 shot, ballistic skill 2, strength 8, AP 4, and D6 damage. So it's a better, like, whatever those things are called, Inferno pistols. It's a better Inferno pistol. It's really good. You can get 4 hits with this thing. Within half range, and Melta 2. Pretty cool. That'll never happen, but it'll be really funny when it does. In combat, he's got the Axe of Mortalis, which has lethal hits with 8 attacks at Strength 7, AP 3, and 2 damage. The lethal hits kind of saves that. It's good either way. It's just only Strength 7, like, really sucks. But it's good enough to be wounding most things on 3s, so I guess it's fine. The lethal hits is always nice to have at AP 3, 2 damage, 8 attacks. Okay. He's going to get 9 attacks on the charge. He's going to be Strength 9 on the charge. Just wish his damage was a little bit better. He deep strikes, he leads, he's got Oath of Moment, and then Lord Regent of the Imperium Nihilus. While this model is leading a unit, you add 1 to charge rolls made for that unit, and each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So +1 to hit, very good. +1 to charge rolls, pretty good as well. Is it that good? I don't know. Commander Dante is 120 points. What? That seems expensive. Death Mask of Sanguinius. At the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit within 6 inches must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the test when they do so. No. Dude. No. 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 He can lead assault intercessors with jump packs, assault squads with jump packs, sanguinary guard, vanguard veterans with jump packs. He's 120 points? No. He's an infantry character, epic hero fly, jump pack grenades. Get out of here, bro. What? Alright, Death Company Dreadnought. This thing is 165 points. This thing is hilarious. It moves 8, it's toughness 9 with a 2-up save, 8 wounds, leadership 6, OC 3. It can take heavy flamers, meltaguns, or storm bolters, and then blood talons. So these are a twin-linked weapon. There are 7 attacks, strength 8, AP 2, and 3 damage. They're twin-linked. So it just keeps fucking attacking you, and it keeps attacking you with this weapon. Or it can take 2 Furioso Fists, which are also twin-linked. That's 5 attacks, strength 12, AP 3, and 3 damage. I'm not sure which one you take on this thing, but let's read what its abilities are. Deadly Demise 1, Feel No Pain 6+, Oath of Moment, Black Rage. Each time this model makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. While this model is not within 12 inches of a chaplain, it cannot be selected to fall back, and its objective control is 0. So make sure that you have a chaplain by these things, or any of the Death Company, because they all have this ability. Frenzied Reprisal. Each time an enemy unit targets this model, after that unit finishes making its attack, this model can either shoot as if it were your shooting phase, or fight as if it were the fight phase. Stupid ability. Especially in this edition. This thing charges into combat, it's like, boom, I'm gonna kill this unit. Kills this unit. It then piles into something else, and then that unit fights it, and then it fights again. Being able to fight with 14 attacks at strength 8, AP 2, and 3 damage with twin linked, or 10 attacks at strength 12, AP 3, and 3 damage, you're gonna kill something with that. And even if you, like, so when you charge into a unit, as long as the unit doesn't kill you back, you can then swing on them again and make sure that you kill them. So that's pretty damn good. 165 points for this thing. It is a vehicle, Walker, Smoke, Imperium Dreadnought. It's hard to say whether or not this thing is super competitive. If it could just continue to attack forever, oh my god. This thing would be outrageous, dude. Especially with the stratagem that allows it to pile in, or was it pile in and consolidate? It might have only been consolidate. But god damn. Either way, great unit. So this model Stormbolter can be replaced with a Heavy Flamer. Its Meltagun can be replaced with a Heavy Flamer. Its Furioso Fist can be Blood Talons. It can take a Magna Grapple. What did the Magna Grapple do? Oh, we totally missed that. The bearer loses the smoke keyword, but adds 2 to the charge rolls made for the bearer if 1 or more of the targets that charges a monster or vehicle unit. This thing moves 8, and then it just charges you. These things might be good with advance and charge from a Stormlance as well. But the rest of the army isn't really good for that, I don't think. But my god. Just take 3 of those things. Just let them attack multiple times. Each of them can attack twice. What? Oh, that'd be crazy. You probably don't need to take 3 of them though. Probably just 2. And then it's like, if you play with those right, oh my god. You can just murder everything. Death Company Intercessors. So, they are a Space Marine profile. So move 6, T4, 3-up save, 2 wounds. You should know that. Space Marine profile. They have 1 OC though. These guys have a 6-up Feel No Pain. They have that Black Rage thing where the objective control is 0 if they're not within range of a chaplain and they can't fall back. But then once per turn, you can target this unit with the Fire Overwatch stratagem for 0 CP. So this is completely useless. They have 2 terrible abilities, and you're never going to use the regular Death Company Intercessors. They're just garbage. The ranged weapons are a Astartes Grenade Launcher. That's kind of a weird weapon. It's a 1-shot at strength 9, AP 2, and D3 damage at 24. Or it's a little blast thingy. That's D3 shots at strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. And then bolt pistols, bolt rifles, which are 2 shots at 24, strength 4, AP 1, and damage 1. And then your hand flamer, it's just a strength 3 flamer. Heavy bolt pistol, that's your AP 1 pistol that shoots a 18-inch range pistol, that's strength 4 with an AP of 1. And then you got plasma pistols as well. Astartes Chainsword for combat, and then close combat weapon, Power Fist, Power Weapon, Thunderhammer. So you got 4 attacks on the Chainsword, hitting on 3s. You got 3 attacks with the close combat weapon, hitting on 3s. Everything's hitting on 3s except for the Thunderhammer. 3 attacks with the Power Fist, 4 attacks with the Power Weapon, or 3 attacks with the Devastating Wound Thunderhammer. So they do have grenades, and they are infantry. They are tacticus as well. They're 115 points? Nah, these are Death Company intercessors. Where the fuck are they? They're 85 points for 5. So 170 points for 10 of these. All models in the unit can have a Astartes chainsword, okay, and a bolt pistol, heavy bolt pistol thing. One model's heavy bolt pistol can be replaced with a plasma pistol or a flamer. For every 5 models in the unit, one bolt rifle can be a grenade launcher, and then one guy can have a power fist. Okay, don't care, moving on. Death Company Marines. These guys are better, I'm pretty sure. Same profile as above, same exact profile. So they have Feel No Pain at the moment, so same as the above there. And then they have the Black Rage as well, and they have a different ability though, which is an honorable death in combat. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, that attack has sustained hits 1 if this unit is below starting strength, or sustained hits 2 if they are below half strength. So, pretty interesting if you can get a couple of them to die and then get sustained hits on them. But usually units in this game just die all at once. So, not great, not terrible. Overall, that's better than the other guy's ability. They also can take bolt pistols, bolt guns, hand flamers, inferno pistols, which are melted 2, and pistol with 6-inch range at 1 shot, hitting on 3s, everything's hitting on 3s, strength 8 AP 4, and D3 damage. So if you can get within 3 inches with that, then you're going to be 2 plus D3 damage, so not bad. Then plasma pistols as well. Then you have the chain swords with 4 attacks, strength 4 AP 1, close combat weapon, power fist, the Thunder Hammer, and the Power Weapon. Thunder Hammer only has 3 attacks on 4s, and then the Power Fist has 3 attacks. Power Weapon has 4 attacks. We all know what those do, all the different profiles there, at least we should. And let's see what their options are, because they can all take stuff. Any number of models can have their bolt guns and close combat weapons replaced with one of the following: a Thunder Hammer, or a chainsword and a bolt pistol. But the Thunder Hammer is the important one. Any number of models can have their bolt pistol replaced with one of the following: an Inferno pistol, or a hand flamer, or a plasma pistol. Any number of models can have their Astartes chainsword replaced with one of the following: power fist, power weapon. They all have bolt guns and close combat weapons, so just give them thunder hammers and give them Inferno pistols and kill things in combat. They are infantry with grenades, Imperium, and then they're Death Company Marines. So the regular Death Company Marines are 115 points for 5, so they are very expensive. Over 20 points a model. They're 21.5 or something. So, damn. They can all take Thunder Hammers. That's why they're expensive. They can all take Thunder Hammers, and they can all take Inferno Pistols. But they're nothing compared to the Death Company Marines with jump packs. These are all-stars. These are going to be good in so many different builds, because these are just a very self-sufficient unit that just kills everything. They move 12, they're toughness 4 with a 3-up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, and OC 1. So Marine profile, except for the 12-inch move. They have the same weapons here, so the Inferno pistol is really the one that matters. They can all take one. They have Deep Strike, they have Feel No Pain 6-up at the moment, Black Rage, and then they have the Berserk Fury. You can re-roll charge rolls made for this unit. Yes, super good. They rapid ingress down, behind a wall, they move 12, and then they can re-roll a charge on something. And every single one of these guys has either a Power Fist or a Thunder Hammer. So, super duper good. They are more expensive. They're 130 points or 260. Now, if you put, I think it's Lamartie's. Is it Lamartie's? There's a chaplain dude who can go with these guys. He gives them -1 damage. So they become very, very tough because they have a 6-up Feel No Pain with 2 wounds, -1 damage. So even a 3 damage weapon might not kill one, because you might make a 6-up on Feel No Pain. So, very, very good to have. Rerolling charges is good to have. So they have the same options. Any number of guys can have either a Thunder Hammer or a Chainsword and Bolt Pistols. Any number of dudes can replace their Bolt Pistol with Inferno Pistols, and then any number of models can replace their Chainsword with a Power Fist or a Power Weapon. So, they all have bolt guns, they all have close combat weapons. So you're going to replace the bolt gun and the close combat weapon with a Thunder Hammer? Probably. So I guess what you'd have to do is take the Chainsword and Bolt Pistol, and you can then replace the Bolt Pistol with the Inferno Pistol, and then you can replace their Chainsword with a Power Fist. So you can't have the Thunder Hammer if you're taking the Power Fist and the Inferno Pistol, which probably, who cares at that point, because you've got 10 Inferno Pistols moving 12 inches. Probably okay. So they're infantry, fly, jump packs, grenades, Imperium, Death Company Marines with jump packs. So these would also be really good in a Stormlance because they would be able to advance and charge. But getting strength 10 power fists, and they each have 4 attacks with those power fists because they normally have 3. Power up and power fist is 3 attacks, so they each have 4 attacks to strength 10 with like reroll hits and Oath of the Moment and all that stuff. So rerolling their hits, and they just killed everything at that point because that's 40 attacks. So super duper good unit there, very disruptive, very punchy, very killy, very good unit indeed. That's going to supplement. It's like if you're playing an Ironstorm, that'd be a good unit to have to supplement in, because you can come down and charge something and just murder it that way, and kind of take up space with Dreadnoughts that are also wanting getting into combat. So that might be something to think about as well. Furioso Dreadnought. This is a 6-inch move, toughness 9, 2-up save, 8 wounds, leadership 6, OC of 3. This can take a heavy flamer and a heavy frag cannon, which is a weird weapon. It's blast and it's rapid fire 6. It has D6 shots normally at 18 inches. It hits on 3s. It's just so weird. So blast, rapid fire D6, D6 shots at 18 inches, hits on 3s, strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage. So you could be doing 12 shots with this thing, plus blast, which is just funny. But normally you'll get around 7 shots with it, plus blast, so maybe 8-ish. I'm getting 5 hits, 3 wounds, strength 7, AP 2, 2 damage. It's fine. And then you have a Melt Gun and a Storm Bolter. And then for melee, you have your Blood Talons, which are twin-linked weapons. There are 7 attacks on 3s for everything. Strength 8, AP 2, 3 damage, but twin-linked makes them nice. You have a single Furioso Fist, which is the same profile as below. It just doesn't have twin-linked. So, 5 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 12, AP 3, and damage 3. And then if it's the twin-linked version, then that's the other one that you can take, which is the twin. It has Deadly Demise 1, Oath of Moment, and then Wrathful Rampage. Each time this model selected to fight, you can select one enemy unit within engagement range of it, roll a d6, adding 2 if it made a charge move. On a 4 to 5, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds, and on a 6, it suffers 3 mortal wounds. So if it charges in, on a 2-up, you're going to do at least d3 mortal wounds to them, and on a 4-up, you will do 3. So it has a tank shock, and then you could also tank shock with it, and then it can actually attack. So pretty interesting there. Now, it also has that Magna Grapple thing, so if it charges a monster or vehicle, it can be +2 to the charge roll. Its heavy frag cannon and Furioso Fist can be replaced with the Blood Talons and Melt-A-Gun, or one twin Furioso Fist and Melt-A-Gun. Yeah, probably. It only moves 6 though, so it is pretty slow. The Furioso Dreadnought can't be expensive. It's 150 points. It's too slow. There's no way. Unless there's some way to like advance with it and be able to charge, I don't think that you're going to want to take a Furioso Dreadnought. Nope, not in my... No. Vehicle Walker Imperium Dreadnought. Okay. So Gabriel Seth. This is another one of your characters. He moves 6, he's toughness 4 with a 3-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, and OC of 1. So he does have 6 wounds, which is pretty cool. He's a little bit beefier than the other one. Some of the other ones that we saw. He's got a bolt pistol, and then he's got Blood Reaver. It has sustained hits with 6 attacks, strength 8, AP 2, and a flat 3 damage. That's pretty good. So he's going to hit with 6 of them. A wound with, depending on what you're targeting, if it's a vehicle, then you're going to be wounding on 5, so you're going to be getting like 1.5 wounds. So like 1 wound at AP 2, 3 damage. But if you're going after something like Terminators or other, 3-wound infantry, then you're going to be wounding them on 3 or 2s and being AP 2 and a flat 3. So you'll probably end up killing a guy or 2 with him. He does lead, he oaths, and then he's the Lord of Slaughter. While he's leading a unit, that unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. There it is. So, Whirlwind of Gore. Each time this model fights until that fight is resolved. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this model's Blood Reaver for every 5 models within 6 inches. Within 6 inches of this model. Wow. So you got a dude, and then you have 6 inches this way and 6 inches that way. For every 5 models, you add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this weapon. This thing can be outrageous, dude. You could... Wow. Okay, how many... He's 90 points. He's fine, he's not anything crazy, but you could have him in the heart of someone's lines if you were able to get there with like a Land Raider or something, and just have like a bunch of models within range. Like, that's going to be really good against certain armies as well, like Imperial Guard or things that want to take like big hordes of units. Jesus Christ. But he'll chew through you when he gets, you know, like 4 or 5 extra attacks because he's crazy. Gets 10 attacks with this thing. But even that, it's not that crazy now that I'm thinking about it. 10 attacks at this profile. It will become strength 10 when he charges, and it would be like 11 attacks at that point if you're taking this detachment. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Strength 10. Yeah, I mean, he's hitting with like 9 attacks on something that's toughness 10, and then half of them are wound. So call it 4 wounds at AP2 at damage 3. Yeah, he'll do a whole lot of damage. All right, we're done talking about him. He does have a 4-up invuln, if I didn't already mention that. Infantry character epic hero. He's from the Flesh Terrors, which is its successor for all rules purposes. They're treated as Blood Angels, but cannot be included in cannot be included in an army that includes other Blood Angels epic heroes. Okay, so as long as you're not taking any of the other named characters, you can take this guy in your army. He can be attached to Assault Intercessors, Assault Squads, Company Heroes, Company Command Squads, Stern Guard, Tactical Squads, and Vanguard Veterans. Then we got Lamartes. This guy is so good. Lamartes is 110 points. He moves 12, toughness 4, 3-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 5, and OC 1. So being leadership 5 makes Battle Shock completely pointless. He's never going to fail most of the time. You do have a bolt pistol, and then you got this Blood Crozius with lethal hits. Strength 6, AP2, 2 damage, so Grey Knight profile, hitting on 2s. With lethals, that's pretty nice. Nothing crazy though, but a nice little bunch of extra attacks there. They have Deep Strike, Feel No Pain 6+, and then Leader. They are Guardians of the Lost. While this model is leading a unit, each time an attack is allocated to that unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack. So that's what I was saying before. Him being attached to the Death Company with Jump Axe, which is like the only thing he can attach to, I think. Yeah, being -1 damage on that unit with a 6-up Feel No Pain, that just makes them so good. And then while this model is leading a unit, melee weapons equipped by models in that unit have lethal hits. So with Oath of Moment, they're just going to be killing everything. So many extra attacks. Strength 10, AP2, 2 damage apiece. Boom. Just crushing through things with that. So, what was he, 110 points? Yeah, 110 points. 100% worth it. He's got no worker options, though, but he's got that Blood Crozius and his bolt pistol, and he can only be attached to Death Company Marines with jump packs. But, my God. Good in any detachment, I think. Very good in this detachment, just giving stuff that +2 strength and the +1 attacks. Just so many attacks. But he has to be with that unit of Death Company Marines with jump packs pretty much in any list you make with this detachment, or this faction, because that unit is just too good not to take. They reroll charge rolls. Like, they're just so good. They reroll charge rolls. They have this guy attached for -1 damage. They have 4 attacks apiece with Thunder Hammers. It's just so good. It's so good. And it's not that expensive. He makes the unit a little bit pricey. Let's see. So it's 110 points plus 260, right? So you're looking at 370 for a unit of 10 dudes and him. But just rapid ingress them. They're safe, and then they will just kill whatever they need to go after. So Lamartes is really good. We'll have to maybe take a look at some of their strats again, just to see. So the Librarian Dreadnought. This guy is also very good. He moves 6, he's toughness 9 with a 2-up save, 8 wounds, leadership 6, and OC of 3. He's got a Blood Lance. It's an 18-inch range psychic thing that has sustained hits D3. 1 shot, strength 10. Right, yeah, strength 10. AP 3 and damage D6. Or, if you make it hazardous, retains the sustained hits and everything. Same range, same number of shots, same ballistic skill, but at strength 12, AP 3, and D6 plus 3 damage. So this guy is hilarious, because that'll either do absolutely nothing, or it'll like zap a guy dead, which is pretty funny. Then he has a Heavy Flamer, Melt-A-Gun, and a Storm Bolter, at least as options. Combat, he's got a Furioso Fist, which is strength 12, AP 3, damage 3, hitting on 3s, 5 attacks, and then he has the Force Halberd, which has an extra attack. Hits on 2s, it's strength 9, AP 3, and D3, or D6 plus 3 damage. So he basically shoots this thing in combat at strength 9. So pretty cool. Deadly Demise 1, Oath of Moment, and then Shield of Sanguinius, which is an aura that's psychic. While a friendly Adeptus Astartes model is within 6 inches of this model, models in that unit have a Feel No Pain 5+ against mortal wounds and psychic attacks. So, very niche again, but not great here. Not great. He's got other abilities, though, that do make him much better, which is the Wings of Sanguinius. Once per turn, at the end of your movement phase, one Psyker unit from your army with this ability can use it, and if it does, roll 1d6. On a 1, that Psyker suffers d3 mortal wounds, but on a 2+, select one friendly Adeptus Astartes infantry unit within 12 of that Psyker and remove it from the battlefield. Set it up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches horizontally away from all enemy models. He gets to teleport stuff. He is crazy. He's 170 points, teleports things around, gives you that 5 of Feel No Pain, which is useless, but he himself is pretty cool with a 2-up save and a bunch of guns and a bunch of melee attacks. Oh, that being able to teleport stuff is just so good. So I don't care what detachment you put this guy in, that is super duper useful. And it's so useful, in fact, that it actually may deter you from playing specific detachments because you can then just teleport around with this instead. So this is very, very strong. It's that strong. Alright, so this guy, he is the Librarian Dreadnought. He's got a Bloodlance, Stormbolter, Furioso Fist, and a Halberd. And a Stormbolter can either be a Melt-A-Gun or a Heavy Flamer. Probably just take a Heavy Flamer, maybe, or the Melt-A-Gun. One of the two is better than Stormbolter. It's a Vehicle Walker Smoke, Psyker, Imperium Dreadnought, and then Librarian Dreadnought. So this thing is really, really good. Just take one of them. You don't need to take more than one, just because you can only pick one of these things in your army to use the ability. So you only need one of them. But yeah, you can be teleporting shit across the table with this, which is like any Adeptus Astartes infantry unit. That's Terminators, just shooting them over there. That's a squad of Aggressors, just shoving them over there. That's a squad of Eradicators, just shoving them over there. That's a squad of whatevers, just shoving them over there. And so this is really, really good. Centurions, just shoving them over there. Just take Centurions. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, take Centurions. Take Centurions. Teleport Centurions around with a Librarian Dreadnought because it's silly, and play them in a detachment that makes them even better. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That seems good. It seems really good, in fact. It's at the end of your movement phase? Wait. What? So that means... Oh my god, if you could pick a unit up off the table, you can put it down at the end of your movement phase, and then this guy can go, okay, end of the movement phase, teleport this unit. What? Okay, Mr. Librarian Dreadnought. Yeah, you seem pretty fucking OP. So I like that. Sanguinary Guard, 12-inch move, T4, 2-up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, and OC 1. That Librarian Dreadnought is insane. Take that in an Iron Storm. What does that give you? You can't teleport your vehicles around. But yeah, you can be like teleporting like dumb shit around. Like Centurions. Or like Inceptors. Maybe not Inceptors. Intercept, whatever the fuck they're called. But you can teleport all kinds of different stuff with that. That's super duper good. Okay, Sanguinary Guard. Move 12, toughness 4, 2-up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. So, a much more durable marine profile, moving 12. They have Angelus bolt guns, which are a pistol, 12-inch range, 2 shots, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. Hitting on 3s with everything. Combat, shooting, all of it. Inferno pistol, which is that 6-inch range melt-a-gun thing that's strength 8, AP 4, D3 damage. Pistol, plasma pistol. In Carmine Blade, 4 attacks, strength 5, AP 2, and damage 2. 4 attacks, huh? So strength 7, AP 2, damage 2 on the charge with 5 attacks if you're playing this detachment. That seems pretty good. The AP 2 for sure makes that good. Getting Lance, I think that's one of their stratagems, right? So you can give a Lance to a unit. That's pretty good. These guys be winning everything on 2s at that point. AP 2, it's 5 attacks. They're basically custodians at that point, being +1 to wound. So that's kind of interesting. And then they have Power Fist. So 3 attacks at a Power Fist profile. Deep Strike, Oath of Moment, Angelic Visage. Each time a melee attack targets this unit, you subtract 1 from the hit roll. And then Hair of Azkaellon? Azkaellon? Hairs of Azkaellon. while a warlord model is leading this unit, each time a melee attack targets this unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. So -1 to be hit, -1 to be wounded, but don't have an invuln. So that sucks. But the Sanguinary Guard are way too expensive. They're 175 points for 5. They're insane. They're 35 points apiece. No, that's not allowed. Not allowed, dude. That's just too many points for this profile, for this ability, and for this weapon. It's just not allowed. They can all take Inferno pistols, though. And for every 5 models in the unit, 1 in Carmine Blade can be a Power Fist. One guy can take a Banner, which adds 1 to the objective control characteristic of models in the bearer's unit. So that's pretty good, because then they become OC2. But they're just not tanky enough, I don't think, for the points cost. 350 points plus character. You know, that's a fifth of your army. Like, nah. Not for this unit, I don't think. Not for that. Not for you. You get nothing. Infantry Fly, Jump Pack, Grenades, Imperium, Sanguinary Guard. Then you have the Sanguinary Priest. This is like the a familiar, the Mr. Vampire familiar. He's got the Blood Chalice for you. He's going to make you drink the blood. And he's, yeah, okay, so he moves 6, he's toughness 4, 3-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. Bolt Pistol, start his chainsword with 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, so strength 4, AP 1, damage 1. Leader, Oath of Moment, and then Sanguinary Priest. While he's leading a unit, they have a 5-up Feel No Pain, his whole unit. And then Blood Chalice, while this model is leading a unit, improve the armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit by 1. Yep, so that's very, very good, because he can lead Assault Intercessors, so now their chainswords become strength 6, AP 2, with 5 attacks on the charge. Assault Squads, probably something similar. Devastator Squads, don't do that. Stern Guard Veteran Squads, don't do that. Tactical Squads, don't do that. Vanguard Veteran Squads, they become AP 2 on the charge as well. So they become strength 7, AP 2 with like 6 attacks or 5 attacks and 1 damage. He can be attached even if you have a Captain, Chapter Master, or Lieutenant already attached to the unit. So, okay. Plus 1 AP, 5-up Feel No Pain. You just can't lead units that are good enough, is the problem. The Sanguinary Priest is 80 points. He's as many points as a Gravis Captain? What? Some of these guys are way overcosted, I think. He can only lead, like, mediocre units. He gives them a 5-up Feel No Pain and improves their armor penetration by 1. I don't think he's worth 80 points. I don't think he's worth 80 points at all. He should be like 60 points, 65. Yeah. Getting the plus 1 AP is very good, but he just can't be attached to any good units. If he could be attached to like Terminators or the other guys, the Blade Guard Veterans, if he could be attached to Blade Guard Veterans, that would be cool. If he could be attached to even Death Company here, that would be cool, because then their Thunder Hammers or Storm Shields or Power Fists, they all go up to Strength 10 AP 3 then, and they get that 5-up Feel No Pain. So like, he needs to be able to get attached to a unit that has 3 or more models, so leave this guy at home. Or 3 or more wounds, I mean. But yeah, leave this guy at home, he fucking sucks. The Sanguinor. This guy doesn't fucking suck. This guy is outrageous. The Sanguinor is 140 points. 12-inch move, T4, 2-up save, 7 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. So not very crazy survivable or anything. He's got an Encarmine 4-up invuln. He's got an Encarmine Broadsword, which is dev wounds. It's 8 attacks, hitting on 2s. Strength 6, AP 3, and 2 damage flat. He's got Deep Strike, he has Fights First, and he has Lone Operatives. He's got Oath of Moment, and he has Aura of Fervor. While a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6 inches of this model, you can reroll Battle Shock and Leadership tests taken for that unit. So, fuck that, it's fine. I don't want that ability, but that's what you get with him. But he has the Miraculous Savior, and this is why he's stupid. Because once per battle, at the end of your opponent's charge phase, if this model is still in reserves, you can select one enemy unit that declared a charge move this phase, set this model up on the battlefield within engagement range of that unit. What? That means he comes down with 6 attacks with devastating wounds, in combat with you after you charged me, with Fights First. That's really good. He's going to hit with 7 of these attacks. If they're strength 6, he's wounding like Custodes on 4s. They are dev wounds, so the Custodes are going to kind of ignore that. But yeah, that's going to be 4 wounds on them, and it'll probably kill a guy. That's not going to be great. But if he comes down on something like Aggressors or some other kind of unit that doesn't have like a huge amount of durability, like even other things in this army, like the Death Company. He could come down, just kill Death Company, because maybe they don't have their dude attached. Maybe someone has a different character attached without the -1 damage. But yeah, there's some really good units that this guy can just take on. But even the ability to get fight first, that just makes him very, very useful with 8 attacks. You could use like precision if you really wanted to come down, snipe out somebody's character. That's kind of funny. It's actually really funny. He just comes out of the sky like a fucking meteor and just kills your character. Oh my god. So, this guy's funny. He's very disruptive as well, and he's survivable enough. And you can use that stratagem on him, where if he comes down, the unit kills him, you can be +1 to hit. They're not +1 to hit. Reroll hits, I think, is what it was against that unit for the entire battle. So that's another thing you could do. But, damn. Just don't use him incorrectly. You're not going to want to charge him to like 10 Terminators and be like, I'm here to save you. The Terminators will be like, no you aren't, and you'll kill one of them or 2 of them, and then the Terminators will just come back and fucking slap him in the face and kill him. So don't do that. Do it in situations where it actually matters, when you have like other types of units or smaller units of things coming down that can't really punch back and kill him at that point, or the unit that he charges or gets engaged with. So just make sure you use them properly, but just another one of these units that's just great in any detachment. I don't know if you'd put him in an Iron Storm, just because, but he'd be great in an Iron Storm simply because he's the Sanguinor and he's silly and he meteors down onto your opponent and it's great. He's very, very good in a more aggressive, like Flame Storm type detachment, probably. He might even be good with like a Gladius. Maybe. Super duper good. Take one of these guys in every single army. Mr. Sanguinor. You're so good. You could give him Lance as well. I don't know if he counts as charging. I guess he doesn't count as charging, does he? So you wouldn't be able to get Lance on him. Trying to think if there's ways to kind of like improve what he can do. We'll get back to that. We'll kind of wrap it up at the end here, which we're getting real close to. We'll go back to the enhancements and the stratagems and think about some of the combos there that might be good. Tycho the Lost. So Sanguinor still. He's just got his sword. He's an infantry character, epic hero, fly, jump pack, Imperium. Then you have Tycho the Lost. This is the other Tycho. He moves 6, T4, 2-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1 with a 4-up in Vuln. He does have leader and feel no pain 6+, so he's like a Death Company guy, although he doesn't have the Death Company keyword. He has Blood Song, so that same weapon as before with the anti-infantry 4-up, Dev Wounds Melta 2, 2 shots at 24 inches, strength 4, AP 1, and damage 2, and then a bolt pistol, and then Dead Man's Hand with 6 attacks, so same profile as before. He's just painted a different color. I guess his armor is a little bit different or something. But 6 attacks on 2, strength 4, AP 1, damage 2. Leader, Feeling Pain 6-up, Oath of Moment, Forlorn Hero. While he's leading a unit, that unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. And then he has Black Rage, so he becomes OC 0 and can't fall back if he is not near a chaplain. And then he has the Death Vision of Sanguinus. If this model is destroyed by a melee attack, after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks, you can roll a d6, adding 2 to the result if the attacking unit contains the enemy warlord. On a 2 to 3, the enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. On a 4 to 5, they suffer D3 plus 3. On a 6, they suffer D6 plus 3. Okay. That's great, but you have to get him into combat with the opponent's warlord, which, for a lot of armies, is not a good combat character. So, yeah. Tycho the Lost. 90 points. 90 smackaroons for these guys. He's got the Blood Song, Bolt Pistol, and Dead Man's Hand. He can be attached to just Death Company Marines, which get sustained hits 2 if they're below half. Sustained hits 1 below. Starting strength, sustained hits 2 below half. No. He's not very good either. He's got no war gear options. He's just kind of himself. He can't be attached, or he can't be with the other Tycho, like the other Tycho said. Yeah, he's kind of just a loser. He's got grenades. He's an epic hero infantry character with grenades, Imperium, Captain, yeah. Loser. But he's okay. I mean, he's become strength 6 on a charge with his Dead Man's Hand. It's only AP 1 though, like I was saying before. But strength 6 with 7 attacks because of your abilities. So, not so bad. Sanguinary Priest with jump packs. These are movement of 12, toughness of 4, 3-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 6, OC of 1. So it's basically the same exact thing as the other guy. It's just that this moves 12. So bolt pistol, chain sword, deep strike, leader, oath of moment, gives a 5-up feel no pain to his unit, improves the armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons in the unit by 1. He can only be attached to assault intercessors with jump packs, assault squads with jump packs, which are actually pretty good, and then vanguard veteran squads with jump packs. Again though, can't be attached to a unit that has 3 wounds. So sanguinary priest with jump pack is 90 points. He's literally more points than my Gravis captain. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like, how can you be that expensive and be not doing it? The 5 Feel No Pain's good. I know I keep shitting on these guys. The 5 Feel No Pain's good, and the +1 AP is good. It's just that they can't... They themselves are good. They're a little overcosted, but they're not good with the units that they attach to. So that's why they're ultimately complete fucking garbage. Okay, so now you know. All right, so that's the end there. I wanted to go back up here, and we'll take a second look at some of their enhancements and stratagems. So you have the Angel Sacrifice. So your character coming down, meteoring down, going into combat, and then having them die. Your whole army can get reroll hits against that unit until the end of the game. Armor of Contempt, obviously, very good. Then you have the Aggressive Onslaught, so you can pile in. It's a consolidation move only. So you can't pile in 3 extra inches, but you can consolidate 3 inches. Okay, yeah, definitely really good on Death Company. Probably really good on Dreadnoughts, like the ones that fight twice. So that's silly. Yep. Lethal hits as well. Getting that on the Death Company. Your strength 10. You have 4 attacks apiece with power fists. They have lethal hits, which I think they already get anyway from what's-his-face, but they have lance, so they're +1 to wound. So they're wounding everything on 4s, and you have 40 attacks. It's stupid. It's very stupid. So that is awesome as well. Yeah, so then you have these other ones. What's the Relentless Assault do? It can charge even though it fell back. Great on Death Company, probably really good on Dreadnoughts. Although people probably don't want to stay in combat with one of those things. So maybe not so good on Dreadnoughts. But better on things that want to charge, obviously, because you can't shoot when you do this. But generally okay. Only in Death does Duty end. This is the one where you just auto-fight on death. So, again, that's just really good on Death Company. That could be really good on like a Dreadnought as well, just because it has a bunch of attacks potentially. So out of this index, let's see. Yeah, Dante's garbage. The Death Company Dreadnought's awesome. You basically, like, these are your best units. The Death Company Marines with jump packs, for sure. The Librarian Dreadnought, for sure. Gabriel Seth's kind of awesome. He just can't lead anything cool. Yeah, Lord of the Slaughter, okay. Lamarte's. Lamarte's in Death Company. The Death Company Dreadnought. The Librarian Dreadnought here. This thing is insane. Being able to teleport units across the table, again, like, you put them in whatever detachment you want. This thing is ridiculous. Being able to teleport stuff and having it on a body that's this durable, and it just happens. Like, it's at the end of your movement phase. You just do it. Like, you can be in combat when you do it. You can fall back and do it. You can advance and do it. Like, you can just do it. It's so good. So, yeah, the Librarian Dreadnought is very good. Then you have this guy, the Sanguinor. Insane unit, being able to lightning bolt down into combat with people and really fuck up their plans. Yeah, like, that's just super duper good. But other than those, I don't think there's really too much. Dante's poopy. Mephiston's good by himself. Not good enough, though. You got Tycho, and then you got Brother Corbulo. Your Ball Predator. Your Ball Predator is very good. Like, yeah, I forgot about this thing. Your Ball Predator is really good. And again, you could probably take this in a different detachment, probably in an Iron Storm. That way it's able to get lethal hits, and with its Storm Bolters, or its Heavy Bolters, one of those Bolters. There's so many different Bolters. But you're going to get lethal hits with that, and it's a really good Overwatch target if you're taking all the Flamers. They're 125 points. Yeah, take the Ball Predators for sure in Iron Storm. You could even take them in this, and like I said, just supplement your firepower with some Ball Predators, because they are just good for 125 points. Astorath giving you Dev Wounds on the charge, and giving you Fights on Death on a 4-up. Death Company Marines with jump packs, you could have a second unit of them, and you could maybe attach like a... I don't think that there's a clause in them to attach other things to their unit. So it's only like Lamarties who can attach to them, and I guess like this guy, maybe one other thing. So you can't be doubling up on characters in that unit, I don't believe. Nope. You can't take a Sanguinary Priest with them, because that'd be too good to give them a 5-up Feel No Pain and +1 AP. So, okay. So Astorath's pretty interesting. I think it was 90 points, 85. Giving Dev Wounds out to your Power Fists that are 4 attacks apiece, that are Strength 10, that's very good. That's very, very good. Even if you like hit with half of them, so you get 40 or you get 20 hits with that. That's still going to be like 8 devastating wounds, because you're going to get like 4 or 3 to 4 6s out of the 20, plus all the other wounds that are there. So that's pretty awesome. But I think Lamarties is better just because getting the lethal hits, yeah, you're going to want those lethals for sure. But you can do the lethals on this unit as well. So you could have this guy with a second unit if you really wanted to go crazy on the Death Company, which this puts you at like 700 points probably to take this guy with Death Company and then Lamarties with Death Company. But you can put the stratagem on these guys to give them lance and to give them lethal hits and then devastating wounds. So that would be interesting as well. But overall, yeah, this is useless anti-chaos 5-up. Overall, it's a very strong index. It has a very good detachment rule, and you also have Oath of the Moment as your army rule. You have some pretty useful stratagems and some useful enhancements as well. It definitely competes with some of the Space Marine detachments for sure. Like some of the weaker ones, like the First Company Task Force, I don't think is all that exciting. Gladius is very strong. I don't think it really competes with Gladius. It kind of just does its own thing. Like Gladius is just very different. The Flamer one, I think it kind of competes with that. It may even compete with Stormlance simply because getting +2 strength and +1 attack as opposed to advance and a charge or fall back and charge. Those are both very good. They're like, you know, two sides of the same coin. But this pushes your strength to a high enough point where it actually becomes pretty impactful on a lot of things. Like a Power Fist going from Strength 9 to Strength 10 is a lot more impactful than a Power Fist going from Strength 8 to Strength 9, because a lot of more durable units are going to be Strength 10 or higher, and you really want to be wounding on 4s at that point. You don't want to be wounding on 5s if you can help it. So that's very strong, and then getting that extra attack combined with some of these other characters, being able to throw units up into opponents' faces with the Librarian Dreadnought, like, you can do some pretty dirty shit with this. You could play the Flamestorm detachment. You could teleport up a unit of aggressors, with a captain attached, in fact. Teleport a unit of aggressors up with the Librarian Dreadnought, use the stratagem on that unit for free flamers, or for free dev wounds on the flamers. It's 6 dudes, all hitting automatically with D3 or D6 shots +1, and they're all going to be twin linked for rerolling wounds, and they're just going to burn through whatever. They'll do like 8 mortal wounds to something on average, maybe even more, maybe 9. So then they can charge something different. It's like you have a lot of versatility that you can do here. Yeah, there's so much you could do. You could teleport up squads of, I already mentioned them before, but you could teleport up so many squads of guys, and you can just kind of pick and choose which detachment you're running at that point. So if you're running like a detachment of the Flamestorm guys, you probably run a bunch of aggressors because they're super slow, and you just put them behind cover and just teleport them where they need to go. Or other very slow units like that, like the Eradicators that really want to get up there and shoot, because then you'll be +1 strength within 12, rerolling all hits, wounds, and damage against vehicles or monsters. You can teleport up a 6-man unit of these things and then just kill something with that. And after having them, you know, back here somewhere on the end of at the edge of the table, and then move them up to here, that's really good as well. And just being able to position things wherever the fuck you want is really, really strong. So that thing is super duper good. Now, can you take any of these on the Dreadnought? Maybe increase the armor penetration. This is good as well. So you can put this on Visage of Death. I think you're allowed to put those on. Is he a character? It is not a character. Okay. Okay, so it's not a character, so you can't put anything on it. But it also doesn't give up Assassinate, which is nice. But I think that's pretty much it. All their different units here. They are a very, very strong army. They have a lot of different options, and you can play them so many different ways. Like, you could play them as, like, you would play them either as themselves, or a storm, firestorm, the firestorm detachment, or the iron storm, right? Iron storm, firestorm, stormlance, storm ravens, storm bolters. God damn it. Too many storms. So, yeah, you're going to play them as one of those three. And you're going to take the ball predators. If you take the ball predators, just any way you slice them, they're super duper good. You're going to be taking the Death Company, and kind of any way you slice them, they're going to be super duper good. You're going to be taking, what else could you take in this that makes them better? Maybe like Leviathans or whatever, the Redemptor Dreadnoughts. They would be strength, I think, 14 on the charge with 6 attacks. Those would be pretty cool to take. All your aggressors would be strength 10 with 4 attacks apiece on the charge with twin-linked punchy gun things. So they would be pretty good in this detachment as well, in addition to just the Death Company that are in here. So they've got some good stuff here, for sure. They've got some really good stuff. If I missed anything here, if I didn't talk about something, let me know down below. Like the video, hit it with a thunder hammer, stab it with your lance of anti-chaos 5-up, and subscribe. Hit Nurgle's bell icon. Did I say leave a comment already? Do all those YouTube things. Check out the other videos as well. There's all kinds of content out there, and we're making more. So I am going to end on that note. Try not to give into the red thirst, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.